story of lost love and criminal fate. Shadows of the past. In the quiet town of Deltawood, nestled among the green southern forests, lived John and Emily. They met in the early 90s at a local festival, and their lives instantly intertwined in one of the best romantic tales one could dream of. 30 years together flew by quickly, but not always smoothly. They had 2 children, an adult son, Kevin, who had just graduated from college, and a daughter, Laura, who was still in school. As the years went by, the routine life began to take its toll. John worked at a factory, and Emily was a teacher at an elementary school. Their interactions became limited to mundane matters of home and practical discussions. Emily often felt isolated. Her dreams of becoming an artist remained in the past. She yearned for more, but didn't know how to achieve it under the circumstances. One day, at the festival that was once again taking place in Deltawood, Emily encountered Ben, an old college friend. Ben had become a successful photographer, traveling the world, and their conversation quickly rekindled feelings of youth that she had long forgotten. He carried with him an enchanting aura of adventure and a yearning for freedom that so captivated Emily. In his eyes, she saw a reflection of who she could have been, and their conversation soon became deeper. They reminisced about the past, but before long, their interactions crossed the line of friendship. Emily felt an irresistible attraction to Ben, and one night they spent together under the stars, sharing dreams and aspirations. This began her affair. She started meeting Ben, hiding the truth from John. Ben turned out to be not only a talented photographer, but also involved in a small criminal network. He dealt in the illegal trade of cultural artifacts, stolen from abandoned sites where old churches and houses once stood. Initially, Emily was an unwitting witness to his deeds, but soon she was drawn into this world. It seemed thrilling, and the risk only heightened her emotions. Her nightly meetings with Ben became more frequent, and with each encounter, she became more entangled, as if caught in a whirlwind that pulled her deeper. John, who had always been honest with her, began to notice her changes. She became more withdrawn and tired, often late from work, and avoided discussing their future. One day, returning home early, John saw Emily and Ben laughing on the porch, spending a night like they used to. A dark suspicion crept into his heart. He decided to follow them, gathering information about what was happening. That week became hell for him. He discovered that his wife was sliding deeper into criminal life. He felt a growing sense of betrayal, but hesitated to jump to conclusions. When the tension reached its peak, John confronted Emily, and the whole truth spilled out. She confessed to cheating on him, and that her relationship with Ben had become something more than friendship. But the most shocking news was that Ben was in trouble with the law, and soon the police began hunting for him and his gang. When Emily realized the consequences, she found herself in a muddle. John was crushed, but they both decided to try to save the remnants of their marriage for the sake of their children. Their life became a constant struggle to regain trust in one another. Emily made the decision to help the police, giving testimony about Ben's activities and his group. Her choice to cooperate with the authorities could become a turning point in saving their marriage. However, it was not an easy choice. She knew that it would betray not only Ben, but also open many dark sides of her life. In the interrogations, as Emily testified against Ben, she realized what a dark path she had chosen, feeling pain in every word. When the police arrested Ben, Emily felt a sense of relief, but her suffering was far from over. Soon after his arrest, threats began from the remaining gang members. They tried to silence Emily, sending her threatening messages and intimidating her. The world she had stumbled into not only left her with emotional scars, but it also became a real threat to her and her family's lives. Parallel to these events, John found himself in deep conflict. He loved Emily, but the fact that she had betrayed him with Ben and got involved in criminal activity caused him unimaginable pain. He worried about their children, who could become victims of local crime because of their mother. They had to go through a lot of discussions and counseling to understand if it was possible to restore trust between them. Unable to cope with both emotions and external threats, Emily and John made the decision to leave Deltawood. They sold their house and moved to another town, hoping to start anew. This fresh start proved challenging. They had to rebuild everything from scratch and ultimately establish a new foundation for their marriage. While their relationship grew stronger, the shadow of what happened in Deltawood always lingered between them. Emily continued to work on herself, and although they faced many difficulties, they both understood that only together could they overcome them. With each passing year, their new life became better. But sometimes, when Emily looked at John, she still felt the veil of shame and guilt that covered their past. Every time she recalled Ben, it brought her pain, but soon she understood that her present and future depended solely on her and how she would build her life moving forward. And although they learned to live with the shadow of the past, neither John nor Emily could ever forget how easily everything could be lost if they weren't careful about their desires and aspirations. Shadows were made not only from the past, but also from the new decisions and lives they chose for themselves after everything they'd been through. If you need any changes or additional help, feel free to ask.